All right. Hey everyone, welcome to our group-wide training for this week. It is February 10th, 2021, and we are talking about PRV. So the first thing that I want to say before we get into the PRV content is that you may notice that some of our directors are missing tonight. I am running solo tonight and I will do my best, but our directors, Jamie and Leah, I know for sure, and Candace, and probably Kayla too, I think they're all on it, are actually on a training call of their own for the Accelerated Leadership Program. So Accelerated Leadership is one of the programs that Sensi Corporate offers to directors and above. And it's a really rigorous, well, it was 12 weeks when I did it. I think they've kind of condensed it into 6 weeks, but it's a rigorous leadership program. And they've been invited into this session and their first call is tonight. So they are on that call while I am running this call. So that's why you will not see them here. But we have all kind of collaborated on what we're going to talk about. So their input is in here as well. So I just wanted to let you guys know why you don't see them. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about PRV. So PRV is, in my opinion, probably the most important core piece of your business because everything kind of flows from PRV. Okay. Oh, lovely. It's telling me my internet connection is unstable. So let's hope that we're good. If I go out completely at any point, you guys, somebody just text me. I'll keep my phone here. And if somebody, Stacia can text me, she's got my number. If it completely goes out, let me know. Hopefully it doesn't, but I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quick because I want to show you guys a graphic. All right, here it is. Share. Okay. So can everybody see this graphic? Somebody shake their head. I can see Kylie. Kylie, can you see it? Yes. Okay, she's giving me a nod. Okay, so you guys, this graphic actually, I believe it originated with Chloe Cox. So if you're not familiar with Chloe Cox, she's an SSD, has some really amazing training programs out on YouTube. If you haven't checked her out, definitely check out the OG Boss Babes channel on YouTube. She's got lots of really good training out there. But this is a graphic that I believe she created along with her husband called The 3 Legs of Success. And it kind of breaks down your Sensi business into the 3 core areas, and then obviously self-care, because self-care is important not only for a healthy business, but for a healthy life as well. So you see in the legs of the stool there, you've got sales, which is your PRV, your sponsoring, and your coaching, okay? And we're going to be talking about all of these things in our training calls going forward, but we're starting with the PRV. And in my opinion, like I said, I believe that PRV is the biggest piece of this because everything kind of comes, aside from self-care, we're going to keep self-care separate. But as far as PRV sponsoring and coaching goes, everything kind of starts with PRV. Okay, so you can see up here some of the examples of ways that you can get PRV: bag parties or pouch parties, home parties, events, customer follow-up, Sensi Club, specials, LTOs, whiff boxes, things like that. So we're going to talk about those tonight, along with other ways that you can boost your PRV, grow your customer base, and all of the things that you need to do to grow your business. Okay. So I have lots of notes. I'm going to try and stay on track and not get too sidetracked. If you guys watched my specific training from World Tour, you're going to hear some things that sound familiar. I'm not going to go verbatim. I'm not going to bore you with that, but I'm going to draw from that because a lot of those things are essential to boosting PRV in your business. Okay. The reason that I say PRV is the most important piece or the most important leg of that stool is because that's where everything comes from. PRV is what? PRV is sales. And so we are a direct sales business. We sell a product to people and everything comes from those sales. So every time you make a sale, you have the opportunity to make a connection with somebody. So the more people that you sell to, the more opportunities you have for connections, and the more people you have at your disposal to offer the opportunity to. And that's when we get into the sponsoring and the coaching. But it all starts with the sale, right? It all starts with making a connection. I shouldn't say every single time. There are times that you're going to connect with people and maybe they won't buy. Maybe they just want to jump right into hosting or joining. It's happened before. But generally, you're going to start with a sale, okay? The more people that you are getting in front of with your Scentsy business and with our products, the more chances you have to make a sale, make a connection, and grow your business. Okay. So, hang on one second, you guys. I'm so sorry. I need to turn this off. It's getting okay. All right. I needed to turn that off so that it stopped flashing on my screen. Okay. So, every single person that you come in contact with isn't necessarily going to turn into a customer. Make sure that you know that right now. Every single guest that gets invited to a party isn't going to buy. Every single person that you talk to at an event, if you're doing in-person events or if we're ever allowed to do those again, every single person that you come in contact isn't necessarily going to become a customer. But it doesn't mean that they can't help you build your business, because even if they don't purchase something, if you make yourself memorable to them, they may know someone who needs a Scentsy bulb or broke their warmer or has a warmer that doesn't work or something. And if you've made yourself memorable to them, they can give that person your name. Or if it's a guest at a party and maybe you sent them, maybe they won a prize or something and you sent them some Happy Mail, or you sent them a party pack or something like that, and they have your information, that's something that can potentially work in your favor. Even if they don't purchase from you, it doesn't mean that it's like a dead end, okay? The more contacts that you make, the more opportunities there are to build relationships, share Scentsy products and the opportunity, and hopefully eventually turn those contacts into customers, hosts, or teammates, okay? So it's all about exposure and getting yourself out there, okay? And I know that we're all in different areas of the country. And so as far as things are right now with COVID and different states of lockdown and things like that, obviously, when I say put yourself out there, I may not necessarily mean in the physical, literal sense, right? But use social media, use whatever methods that you need to make yourself as visible to as many people as you possibly can as a Scentsy consultant without being spammy, okay? So let's talk about growing your customer base is going to happen. I promise you. If you're a brand new Scentsy consultant, if you're one of our newest consultants, you're going to be thinking, okay, well, this is how I was thinking when I first started. Like, I sold some stuff to my mom and to my sister-in-law, and to some of my friends. And now what do I do? Right? What do I do after I've sold to the people that I know and I'm comfortable talking to? Okay. This is where parties, events, things like that come into play. The easiest way to grow your customer base and to grow your contacts is by parties, because your hostess, or you could use events too. Your event coordinator is going to be introducing you to new people. At a party, obviously, it's your friends, your hostess's guests. And then if you're doing an event, it's going to be the people that come to the event. Those are people that you wouldn't meet otherwise. So you have that person who is introducing you to new people. Like I said, not every single person that you come in contact is going to become a customer, and that's okay. But it's about meeting as many people as you can so that you have those opportunities, and then you get the customers that you do get. That's when you start creating quality relationships and a good rapport with them, so that you can continue to get their business and you can continue to have them be recommending you to their friends and family. And that's how things are going to start to snowball, and you're going to grow your customer base that way. Okay. So parties are the easiest way. And I know that there's probably people going, parties aren't easy to get. Nobody wants to host a party. We're going to talk about that too. Okay. Don't panic. Another thing that you want to think about when you are, when you're sharing Scentsy, and this is going to be when you're sharing items that are kind of decor specific or niche specific, but you want to really think about who you're talking to and who you are sharing those products with. So if you are, let's just say, I'm going to use my personal example. Let's say you buy some pet line samples and you send out some pet line samples. If we came out with a brand new warmer, like the I Heart Dogs or the Home is Where My Dog Is, Home is Where My Cat Is warmer, let's say we came out with something that was pet related or a new pet product, you've got now a list of people, those people that maybe said, yeah, I want to try your pet product samples. Those are the people that you want to go to first when something that you know is going to interest them comes out. And you want to go to them personally. You don't want to make a blanket post on your Facebook, post and pray. Post and pray is not a business tactic. And a lot of us do it. And then we say, well, I tried and it didn't work. It's because it doesn't work. But that isn't how you need to be reaching out to people. So you really do need to do a little bit of research and development when you're starting your business, and know that these things are going to take time. Okay. It takes time for you to connect with people, get to know them, and vice versa, because they want to do business with someone that they know, like, and trust. And if you meet them in a group on Facebook for people who like to go camping, and we come out with a camper warmer and you start messaging everybody in the group and saying, hey, I sell Scentsy and we have a camper warmer, do you want to buy it? You're not going to make any friends. Okay. It's not authentic. It's not genuine. It's spammy. It's icky. It's gross. We don't do that here. Okay. But you have to think about those things and not expect to have a customer base of 100, 200, 500, 1,000 people in your first month of business. You have to be patient. We don't have instant gratification here. And if you think about it, any normal brick and mortar business doesn't have instant gratification. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of word of mouth, just like our business does, to grow. And so you have to be willing to put in that work in order to get the reward once things start rolling. Okay. And I feel like with a lot of consultants, when they aren't getting that instant gratification, and I don't necessarily mean instant, meaning every single person you talk to buys something or joins or hosts. I'm talking about months. Like, it could take you months to get a party booked. I mean, the more people you talk to, the quicker it's probably going to happen. But if you get a no, it's not time to quit. It's not time to stop. You have to push through those things and you have to keep going in order for this to work. Okay. So if you've had those feelings of maybe this isn't for me, I don't know how to do this, I'm not a good salesperson, all of those things, I need you to push those aside, because you can do this. You don't need to be a good salesperson. I am the farthest thing from a salesperson. I've never, ever, ever in my life taken no well. I take rejection very personally. And so it takes a lot for me to put myself out there and ask people to host and ask people if they're interested in the opportunity. But this business means more to me than that little voice in my head saying you can't do this. And so the same thing goes for you guys. You have to be able to push past those things, and it's going to make you sweat, and that's okay. But if you do it, I promise you, if you stay consistent, you're going to see results. Okay. So let's talk about what kinds of things you can be doing to be getting PRV. So we talked about growing your customer base. Okay. So one thing that that I do personally every single month is I do mystery boxes. Okay. So Scentsy has a mystery box, our whiff boxes that we offer now. Those actually started out as consultant curated boxes. So if you're new to Scentsy since whiff boxes came out, consultants have been putting together these kind of mystery boxes for quite a few years. Probably, at least, I've been doing it for going on probably 3 years. And so, Scensy's in the groups that we're in, home office is in the groups that they're in, and they started reaching out to people and saying, hey, this is a really good idea. We kind of, we like this. And so they came out with the whiff box. And I personally love the whiff box because when I put together my own mystery boxes, there's no surprise for me because I know what's going in it. But I can get a whiff box and I get the surprise that I'm able to give my customers in my own boxes. Okay. So whiff boxes are huge, but I also do my own mystery boxes on a monthly basis. So I come up with a theme, and then I put together a couple products that go along with that theme. I throw some samples in there. I throw some like 1 or 2 little extra things that go along with the theme. And then those, I put that out to my customers, and I get between 20 and 30 of those sold usually every month. And at $25, do the math, Granted, I'm spending money to buy the product, so I'm not getting a profit of $25. Half the time, most of the time, I'm not even making a profit on these. It's not about making a profit. It's about introducing your customers to fragrances and products that maybe they wouldn't automatically purchase for themselves. New product lines, new products. When the mini fans came out, I did a mystery bag that had just a mini fan and a pack of pods. And it was $25. It was at cost. So I didn't throw any extras in for them. I just called it a mini fan mystery bag. And if you guys are in the Wax Bars and Superstars page, if you search PRV boosters, a lot of these things will come up. So if you're looking for ideas on things to do to boost PRV, do a search for PRV boosters, or if you click the little topic, the topics, they will come up there too. And I have a bunch more to add topics too, because we talk about them all the time, but this is one that's very simple to do. Mini fan that we now have in 6 different colors and a pack of pods for $25. What you do is you give them a theme and you let them pick the color of their fan, and then you let them pick the theme of the fragrance, and then you pick a fragrance that goes in that theme. So I don't remember off the top of my head what they were. Like one of them would have been a floral fragrance. One of them would have been a fruity fragrance, but they had cutesy names. So if you want to see that one, go ahead and look it up. But these are the kind of things that you can do to introduce people to new products that maybe they wouldn't try themselves. And I'm a creature of habit. And so when something new comes out, I'm always a little apprehensive to spend my money on it, because what if I don't like it, right? You don't want to you don't want to feel like you're wasting your money on something. But if you're buying a mystery bag, you know that there's a chance you might not like everything that's in your bag, but we never seem to care about that, right? When we order the FabFitFun boxes or the Birch boxes or whatever, we know that there might be something in there that we don't use, but we don't really care because it's fun to get a surprise, right? So that's one way that you can boost your PRV, doing these mystery boxes. Now, I will you do have to be careful about how you market these to your customers, because you can't put you cannot say it's a $25 box, but there's going to be $30 worth of product in it. You can't say that publicly, because it's a personal special, because you are providing more value than what you are charging. You can do that. You just have to tell them that through private message. Okay. So I don't want to get into all of the compliance things. There's lots of really good compliance documents on the workstation. If you search compliance and workstation, a lot of training documents will come up with some pictures that are very clear. Do this, don't do that, or yes, you can, no, you can't. So look at those. If you have questions, we're going to do a whole nother training on some compliance things. So I don't want to go too deep into that, but I just want to give you guys some ideas on ways that you can help boost your PRV. Okay. Another thing that I do is I offer pre-orders anytime we have something new launching. So every single month for our Scent and Warmer of the Month, I do a pre-order. If we have a limited time collection, I do a pre-order. If we, I guess that would be it, limited time, or like seasonal collection, things like that. So here's a couple things to keep in mind when we're talking about pre-orders. So Scentsy sometimes will offer a pre-order. You've seen this with the, we did it with the Child Buddy last spring, where Scentsy actually offers an opportunity for a customer to go in, reserve a certain quantity of product, whatever they want, and then for a deposit, for non-refundable deposit, and then when the product is manufactured and shipped and ready to go, then they are able to fulfill their purchase. So that is a Scentsy-led pre-order. The pre-orders that I'm talking about that I do are different from that. So what I do is I collect commitment. It's not necessarily an order, it's a commitment from customers. About 2 days. We can't collect money more than 72 hours before something launches. Keep that in mind. That is also a compliance thing that you need to be cognizant of. I will usually advertise it about 3 or 4 days before the end of the month. Let's talk specifically about Scent and Warmer of the Month. So usually the last week of the month, I will reveal to my VIP group what the next month's Warmer of the Month is. And then in the last 2 days or so, I will start taking pre-orders. Okay. And sometimes I will do a Google form. Usually I will do a Google form, but there are some customers that I have that don't really know how to navigate a Google form. And so I'll just take their orders down. But regardless of how you do it, you are collecting a commitment from a customer that says, yes, I want to buy that brand new warmer and the brand new bar that's coming out on March 1st. Okay. So you are collecting those orders, you're getting yourself organized. And then what happens is on March 1st or whatever the launch date is, you go in and you put that order in on your customer's behalf. Okay. So you're obviously collecting the money from them beforehand. You're setting a realistic expectation with them that there's a chance that this could sell out before my order goes in. I cannot guarantee that I will be able to get this product for you because I am not officially pre-ordering it. But I am putting the order in on your behalf. And then they send you their payment 48 hours or 72 hours or less beforehand. You put the order in and then it gets shipped to you or shipped to them or whatever. It's a courtesy. And it's good customer service if you can do it. Now, I will say that I know that not everybody is able to offer pre-orders. This is something that not everyone's going to be able to do. If you work a 9-to-5 job where you're not able to be online at launch time, I realize that this isn't something that is going to be able to work for you. But that said, there are tons of other ways that you can boost PRV. So if you're one of those people who can't offer pre-orders for your customers for items that launch in the middle of the day, that's okay. I'm just giving ideas here, and I'm giving examples of ways that you can boost PRV. The nice thing about being able to do pre-orders is, number one, like I said, your customers don't have to either get up in the middle of the night or 3 a.m. Eastern time when we have early morning launches, or they don't have to worry about getting on the computer at lunchtime or worrying about being able to navigate the website. If you have customers that aren't very computer savvy, they're going to have a much better chance of getting that product if you go in and order it for them than if they do, if they're not really good at navigating websites. So you have to think about it from a customer service point of view. Okay. You're offering them a courtesy, you're offering to help them out with their order. And then as a result, you get the order, right? You get the PRV and you have a happy customer because you've helped them and you've provided some value to them. Okay. So another thing to go along with that is, whether you choose to do any of these things is totally up to you. Okay. A lot of us will get up at 3 a.m. and place our orders for the first of the month, or if we have new holiday collection coming or a new limited time collection coming or whatever the case may be. You don't have to do that. Okay. You don't have to. Don't feel like, oh my gosh, I joined as a Sensi consultant and now I have to be up at 3 a.m. on the first of the month every month to put orders in. You don't have to. You can provide links to your customers, and you can tell your customers that they can get up in the middle of the night and do these things. It's all about how you want to run your business. Okay. Nothing that we say in these calls or nothing that we give you as examples as ways to boost your business or recruit new team members or any of those things. Nothing that we say here is gospel. Like, you have the freedom and the flexibility to run your business any way you want. So if you are someone that is like, I am not going to get up in the middle of the night and place orders, then that's okay. But what you need to do then is you need to figure out other ways to boost your PRV. Okay. I actually kind of like it because it's fun to get up and it's exciting, and I get an adrenaline rush, and I love like chatting with my Sensi friends at 3 o'clock in the morning and stuff like that. So it can be fun, but if you have to get up at 5 a.m. to go to work, you may not want to do that. It's totally up to you. Okay. Another thing that is extremely important when you are looking to boost PRV is your customer care. So after you get the sale, whether it's a pre-order or a mystery box or just a standard order or a party order, you need to take care of your customers. It is the most important thing that you will do for a healthy business that lasts the test of time. I know that sounds corny, but it's true. We don't want to just get an order and then be done with it. we want people to be loyal and we want people to keep coming back to us. And it's a cycle that will repeat itself. You will get a customer that will order from you. You will treat them well. They will come back and order again. You will treat them well. They'll tell their friend about you. Their friend will come and order from you. You will treat them well. And it will keep going and going and going. Some of my best customers I have never met. So these are people that I don't know them, and I've met them through parties. I've met them through events. I've been lucky enough to have been able to meet some of them at events that I met through parties. But it doesn't matter whether you know somebody personally or not. You can still create a relationship with them. We have so many ways that we can communicate with people right now that there's no excuse for you not to follow up with your customers. There's no excuse for you to not check in and make sure that they're doing okay. There's no excuse for you to leave them hanging after they get their order. Okay. It is so, so important for us to take good care of our customers. Think about it when you're a customer, right? If you go to Olive Garden over here and you get, standard service, your food is good, and your server brings it to you. And then you go to a different Olive Garden across town and it's the same food. It's Olive Garden, so it's the same food, but your customer or your server comes and refills your drinks before they're empty. They offer you dessert. They ask you how your meal is. If you had a choice whether you were going to go back to this Olive Garden or that Olive Garden, which Olive Garden are you going to go back to? You're going to go back to the one that had better service, right? It's not always about the product, it's about the service. And our customers can get Scentsy, the same awesome Scentsy products from any consultant out there. The products are all coming from the same place. So it's all about your customer service and how you treat your customers that is going to help continue to boost your business every single day. Okay. It is. It's fun to chat. It's like it wakes me up. I have a hard time going to bed after we do a launch because my adrenaline's pumping and I've been chatting with my friends and stuff like that. But it is. It's a lot of fun. All right, you guys. So I want to talk. Let me look at the time. Okay. I did have a couple questions come through. So if you guys didn't see, I'm looking for it now. I put out a little Google form earlier today and asked you guys to ask questions because I know that sometimes when we get on these trainings and we're like, okay, do you have any questions? And it's literally crickets. And then the next day up in the team pages, there's all these questions about the things that we talked about in the training the night before. And I know that sometimes it can be scary to either unmute yourself and come on and ask questions or even just ask questions in the chat because you might think it's silly or you should know this or things like that. And so I figured if I have to put it out there and say you can be totally anonymous asking this question, that's totally fine. And we got a couple really good questions that came in through our little Google form that we sent out. So I'm going to go through those and talk about those with you guys. If other people have other questions, put them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them. Like I said, there is a lot of different directions that we can go with PRV discussions. And so there's definitely going to be things that we don't hit on tonight. But this is a PRV, I feel like, is a training that we can do recurring and always have new content and new things that we can talk about. And there are some other things that I have in my notes that I'm going to reference to before we finish up, but I definitely want to make sure that I hit these questions. Because I'm glad that people put them in there, okay? So the first question that we got in said, with COVID, besides virtual parties, what are good ways to reach out to people you don't know personally? And I love this because it is super important right now to be reaching out to people because we don't have the ability to get together and do home parties and events in person. And we're not gathering with family and friends and having barbecues like last year. I mean, goodness gracious, how many people have barbecues all summer? We couldn't do any of that. I see you, Kylie. I'm going to let you share those. Okay. So here's some ideas on ways that you can reach out to people that you don't know. So the first thing that I want to say is that you need to get to know them before you start throwing Scentsy at them. Okay. So how do we do that? If you have any kind of hobbies, and I'm one of those people where like people be like, what do you like to do for fun? And I'm like, go to Disney. And I like Scentsy. Like, I don't feel like I have a ton of hobbies, but when I really sit down and think about it, think about the things that make me who I am. I'm a mom of triplets. I am a preschool teacher. I love Disney. Those are three things that I'm pretty much known for. And so those are groups that I join on Facebook to meet people who have similar interests as me. So I'm in a lot of Disney planning groups. I'm in some groups that are Disney planning for parents of multiples. So that kind of marries two of those things. I'm in a lot of groups of moms of multiples. I'm in a lot of groups of preschool teachers. And so a good way to get to know new people that you can potentially turn into a customer or a hostess or a team member is to join groups on Facebook or whatever. I don't know how Twitter works. Gosh, I feel so old saying that. I don't know how Twitter works or any of like, I mean, I do Instagram and stuff, but join groups of people that have similar interests as you and get to know them. Okay. Don't join the group and then start, make a post and say, I sell Scentsy. If you want to buy anything, let me know. We don't do that. But start answering people's questions if they have questions, or ask questions. Make yourself visible in these groups. If people comment on your posts, like their comments, comment back, get to know people. Then after maybe you've had a couple comments back and forth, send them a friend request. It's not weird when you've started to build a relationship with people. You don't want to go in and start friend requesting everybody in the group, but do it over I don't know how to use the Twitter. Do it over, like I said, these things take time. You're not going to jump into a group, friend request everybody, and then send them messages about Scentsy. It's not going to get you anywhere. Okay. But you have to be able to take time and create rapport with people. It doesn't have to be a relationship, but create rapport with people. I actually have a handful of customers. I was thinking about this the other day because I knew I wanted to bring this up, that I know through these groups, and I really do feel like I'm friends with them, but I've never met them. But I know that, I know when their triplet's birthday is, or I know when their last Disney trip was, and we chatted about it and things like that. Okay. I'm a huge introvert. And so social media is like my playground because I feel like I'm way better typing things to people than I am speaking the words to people. Like if I can't do small talk, but I can do small talk on on Facebook. I can message like nobody's business. I'm not super great at small talk person to person, but I like chatting with people on social media. And so getting into groups of people that you have similar interests with are going to connect you with people that are like-minded. Okay. And that's how you start building those relationships online. And then once you friend request somebody and you're on their page, you get a little glimpse into their life, right? You get to see if, maybe what they do for a living, or maybe if they have kids and you can comment on some of their kids' posts or post pictures of their kids or whatever. But you have to place yourself into their social media life so that they get to know you and that you are investing in getting to know them. And then they're going to do the same thing. They're going to come to your page, and I hope that you have somewhere on your page that you're a Scentsy consultant, not like plastered everywhere, and every single post on your social media shouldn't be about the newest warmer and all kinds of flyers. That's not fun. But I hope that you have your website somewhere on your Facebook profile, or I hope that it says lead independent consultant with Scentsy, something like that. And I hope that you're sharing Scentsy on your Facebook page or your Instagram in a natural way, maybe taking a picture in front of your warmer or saying, hey, I got this brand new warmer. Or those of you who are friends with me on my social media sites might have seen the post that I did the other day that was comparing our Trust in Him warmer to my wedding cake. And I got tons of comments on that. Another thing that's really important is when people are commenting on your posts, whether they're Scentsy related or not, comment back. Okay. If you share something and someone says, oh my gosh, I love your sweater, thank them. Because think about if you were standing face to face with them and someone complimented you on your sweater and you didn't reply, that would be kind of rude, right? So we kind of have to think about that when we're on social media. Granted, sometimes we don't see things, but if you are able to reply or post or like back a comment, at least acknowledge that somebody took the time to do that. Okay. There's a lot of little things like that that will really help build that connection with the people that you're trying to meet. Okay. And that you're trying to create relationships with. Okay. So reaching out to people that you don't know, you want to get to know them before you reach out to them. Okay. Also consider this: if you're doing virtual parties, start collecting people's information in your virtual parties. I use a Google form to do this, but there's lots of different ways you can do it. But it allows you to collect their information so that you can send them happy mail. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. It can be a scent of the month brochure with a rub and sniff sticker on it. Okay. This is one of the reasons why I say that you should always be getting at least the scent of the month kit, because this is perfect way to utilize that. You're going to get 50 of these bad boys and a pack of 72 rub and sniff stickers. If you have a party going on and there's 15 guests and they fill out your guest info form, now you have 15 addresses. You can send them this. You don't necessarily have an expectation that they're going to buy it, but number one, they're going to take notice that you took time to send them something. They're going to get to smell it. If you put the rub and sniff sticker in it, they're going to get to smell it, which is what people want to do. And there's a chance that they're going to order. Not everybody's going to, but no one's going to if you don't send them something, right? If you have a party and the party ends and you have no way to get in touch with any of these people, what are you going to do then? You need to be able to get in touch with people afterwards, because what if you posted something in the party and someone said, "Gosh, I wish they would come out with a cucumber fragrance." And you're like, "Yeah, me too. I love cucumber. That would be great." And then 6 months later, we come out with a cucumber fragrance. Do you know how tickled that person would be if you took note of that and you contacted them and said, "Oh my gosh, do you remember when you said that I wish they would come out with a cucumber fragrance? Guess what? We have cucumber now." They're going to be like, "Oh my gosh, she thought of me." So you guys have to take time to get to know your customers. Take notes about them, however you want to do it. If you use Amy, our Amy app, if you're new to Scentsy, you get 2 months for free. Don't quote me on that, but it is the app that is linked with Scentsy for follow-up. If you use Amy, you can go in and put notes in your contacts, in your person's contact, and you can say likes cucumber or wants a cucumber fragrance. If you collect information in Google Forms, you can put it in there. You can use the Notes app on your phone. You can write it, on a bar napkin. It doesn't matter. Write the stuff down so that you can connect with people and think of them when these things come out that they're interested in. There have been so many times where something has come out, like all of my Disney friends, before we partnered with Disney back in 2018, everyone was like, "Man, if you guys only had Disney stuff." Well, guess what? We got Disney stuff, and those were the first people that I called from California, being like, "Look, I'm in California and we're getting Disney." And they were thrilled because I knew that they would like those things. And so I connected with them first. Okay. So you have to take the time to get to know people before you can expect them to buy your product. All right. Um, so Megan, I don't know if Megan's on here. I can't see all of the participants right now, but Megan, I hope that if you see this, I hope that helps. Definitely making the connection with people is important. Collecting information from people in parties or events, or if you have a VIP group, collect information from those people. Because if you have people in your VIP group, oh, I see you're here. If you have people in your VIP group that maybe have never ordered before, you still want to be able to send them things so that they can smell these fragrances before they buy and things like that. So make up a little Google form that asks them for their name, their address, their email address. Don't forget to ask them if they're interested in hosting or joining. And there's ways that you can do that aren't spammy. And I can actually share some stuff with you guys on how my form is set up too, so that you can do like a sliding scale and see how interested people are. But there's a lot of ways that you can gather information from people so that you know how to interact with them and what level of interest they have in certain things. And that's going to help you do things a lot more naturally, because you're not going to be approaching people that have absolutely zero interest in joining about joining, right? But maybe they do have an interest, or maybe they would like to try the scent and warmer of the month, okay? So connecting with people and just being patient. And I know that it's hard. I have like no patience, but you have to be patient in this business, because I promise you, if you give up, it's like that. I just saw it on Facebook the other day. There's a picture out there somewhere, and it shows like the guy like digging in a hole or whatever, like chipping away, and he stops, and then there's another guy that's like the diamond or whatever is like right behind where he stopped. and it's like you can't quit. Like, you have to keep going. And if you keep going, things will continue. When I first started this business, I never saw myself doing what I'm doing right now. And I could have quit 100 times over, and I didn't. And I'm super glad that I didn't, but I could have many, many times when things maybe weren't going my way or I felt like I wasn't good enough to do it. Okay. Um, so I hope that that helped, Megan. And if you want to chat some more after, we can do that too. Okay. So we also had another one that asked, what's been your number one PRV booster? So I shared a couple of them. I do mystery boxes every month. I do pre-orders every month. I take good care of my customers. One thing that I will say that is a huge PRV booster is personal connection. Like I said at the beginning, post and pray is not a business tactic. You cannot make a post on Facebook and be done. You will not get the results that you're looking for. I guarantee it. Especially with the way like Facebook's algorithms are now. I don't even know how Facebook algorithms work, but I don't see half the things that I used to see. And now I see things that I didn't even, from people that I didn't even know were on my friends list because I didn't see them for so long. You cannot rely on Facebook to get your information to your customers. Facebook is a tool, but you have to be the one that's reaching out to people. Okay. And I'm not saying don't post on Facebook, because Facebook is an important thing for us to stay visible with people. But again, I'll use another example. I do my monthly mystery boxes. I posted, what is today, Wednesday? I posted about them Monday in my VIP group, and I had 4 people reply. And I told you earlier, I usually get between 20 and 30 every month. I had 4 people reply on my Facebook post. So I sent out texts, personal texts, to my customers that normally order and that have told me that they're interested in mystery boxes before. Sent those texts out today, and within an hour, I had 15 more people, because I reached out to them personally. You cannot rely on Facebook to get all of your information out to people. And people aren't sitting on Facebook waiting for you to post Scentsy. We think about Scentsy a lot more than our customers do. And so we can't rely on Facebook to show people everything. You need to be reaching out personally to your customers and saying, hey, are you interested in my mystery box this month? Or you got a mystery box last month and I know you loved it. Would you be interested in another one this month? Whatever you want to say, whatever you're reaching out about, personal communication is where it's at. And you will, I know I said we don't have instant gratification, but you will see a very quick increase in your response, in your interest, if you start connecting with people personally. Okay. So that's not a thing that's a PRV booster for me, but that's a method of reaching out to people that's a huge PRV booster. Reaching out to people personally is going to boost your PRV even more than all of these other fun things, right? But there's lots of other PRV boosters that you can do. Like I said, if you're in, this person didn't put their name on it, so I don't know who asked this, but if you're on my team in the Wax Bars and Superstars page, we do have PRV boosters posted in there. I try to share them when I see them. If you are in some of the other consultant groups and you see a PRV booster that looks fun, feel free to share it in your team pages. I'm sure other consultants would be very appreciative of that. But some PRV boosters. I just shared one in our team page, and I know some of the other directors did today too, about the little car care kits with a mini fan, a pack of pods, and a car bar, all in the same fragrance. That's a great PRV booster. It's $31. They're getting a fan, a pack of pods, and a car bar. It's not discounted or anything, but one thing that's funny, and I remember I talked about this with the directors last week, I think, is that you don't have to do a personal special to get people interested in something. Have you ever seen those flyers that are out there with like the pre-made bundles, like the cinnamon lovers bundle or the pumpkin lovers bundle or whatever? Those are not discounted at all. They're just fragrances that are in the same fragrance family, bundled together on a picture, on a nice flyer that says, if you like pumpkin, you will probably like these 6 fragrances. It's a pumpkin lover 6-pack, and people will be all over it. And all you're doing is advertising the product. You're not giving them a deal. You're not, you're not discounting it any more than we already do on a 6-pack, but it's the way that you are presenting it to them that gets them excited. Or I've seen, I know I'm gonna use this one too, so I will share it when I do. But there's one that a lot of people did last year, and it was like smell the rainbow bundle. And it was some of the new fragrances that are like a red or a pink, a orange, a yellow, a green, a blue, and a purple fragrance. And it's the smell the rainbow bundle. And you put the 6 fragrances, and people are like, oh yeah, I want one of those. It's just 6 bars. But the way you're presenting it is a little bit more exciting than saying, hey, do you want to buy a 6-pack of new releases? So you have to think about that too. Um, make things exciting for people, make them interesting, make them colorful, make them sound special, even though it's nothing more than just putting in a 6-pack. Okay. It's all how you present it to people. Oh, and the other thing, PRV booster, is customer care. And I will say it until my very last day. If you take care of your customers, they will keep coming back to you. And you will have a continued cycle of people ordering from you because you are taking good care of them. And it doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. You don't need to be sending free product out to people every time they order. If you're sending them a handwritten thank you card and a sample, that's enough. But you need to be taking care of them and letting them know that you appreciate their business and you appreciate them choosing you out of the 200,000 plus Scentsy consultants that are out there. Okay. Hang on, let me look up. I see somebody said something here. Hope says, I've been going through and sending the Warmer of the Month flyer. Couple felt samples of new scents and a product sheet to people I met in parties months ago, but haven't heard from them since. Okay, so, okay. Right. So it doesn't hurt to reach out. But another thing is make sure they're getting what you're sending, Hope, if you're on here still. The mail system has been so atrocious over the last couple months. I just got back a catalog that I sent to someone last month in the mail, got returned to me yesterday. And so I messaged her last night and I was like, hey, I sent your catalog out and it got sent back to me. Can you confirm your address? It had her address on it and it got returned to me. So make sure that they're getting them. And this is where that follow-up comes into play. You can't just send your samples out there and then hope that people get them. It's important to follow up on those samples because a lot of times, like I said, people don't have Scentsy at the front of their brain all the time. And so there's a lot of times where I'll say to people like, hey, did you get your mailer this month? And they'll be like, oh my gosh, yes, I want to order some of that. But they might not think of that off the top of their head. They got kids, they got jobs, they got sports, they got all these other things that they're going through their head. Scensy's not at the forefront of their mind. But if you remind them, they'll be appreciative. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. The mail is awful. But that is one thing, just in general, make sure that if you're sending things out to people, that you're following up with them to make sure that they got them. Again, it's a nice customer service thing. Hey, I sent you a little freebie. Did you get it? I want to make sure it got to you. Not because you want them to order it, but you literally just want to make sure that they got what you sent them. But yeah, and you never know too. Like you said, maybe fall, winter fragrances weren't their faves. Maybe they'll like spring and summer. And as you start to figure out what people like, that's when you start making notes in your contacts. However you're keeping your contacts, make notes of that so that if a summer collection comes out and you know that Susie Q loves the fruity fragrances in summertime, then you go to Susie Q when the summer collection comes out and say, Susie Q, we have a summer collection coming out. Do you want to know more about it? That's where you start targeting your marketing towards those people. Okay. But you have to know what they like before you can target market. You can put them in the target market for those products. Okay. All right. So I know I'm running out of time. See, I knew this was going to happen. All right. 3 more questions. Best way to get high PRV from a party. The last 2 I did, I spent way too much time beating a dead horse. I knew that people weren't getting involved unless I gave things away for free. I'm just kind of paraphrasing. I got those parties by giving away a $20 mini warmer, so I was also out the cost of shipping. I try to get PRV without bribing people to have parties. So first off, yes, we don't want to be doing that. We don't want to go broke to get sales. Okay. So I know that I see that thing floating around all the time where it says, what's your favorite new warmer? And then you tell the person that if they host a party, they're going to get it for free. The one thing that you want to make sure that you are telling people if you're doing that is that it's when their party hits hostess rewards, they will get it for free because you don't want to reward someone just for booking. The whole point of getting a party booking is to get more sales, right? So if they're going to book a party and you're going to give them something without kind of guaranteeing yourself some sales and in return for that, then yeah, you're going to end up going broke, and we don't want to do that. Okay. So one thing to keep in mind is if you're going to offer something like that, make sure that you're wording it in a way that when your party hits hostess rewards, then you'll get to pick a mini warmer of your choice. And then what you do as a consultant is you use that perpetual party reward, and then that takes the price of that warmer down to $10, and it's only $10 out of your pocket. Now, as a general rule, I don't like doing those kinds of things very often. And like you said, you don't want to be bribing people with free stuff. You want them, their rewards should be enough to get them to host once you show them what they can get for free. But the best way to get high PRV from a party is what I have found is hostess coaching. Hostess coaching and hostess engagement. If your host ghosts you, then you're not going to have a good party, because your host's guests don't know you. They just know that you sell the product. And so obviously you're going to be there sharing the product with them, right? But if your host is in there posting her own Scentsy and saying, I love Shimmer, just because I'm looking at it. I love Johnny Appleseed. I love whatever. Oh my gosh, I got this new body spray, fragrance mist, and it's the best one I've ever had. They're going to buy into that because they know, like, and trust their friend. They don't know you from anybody. So yes, you're going to be the one that's sharing the products with them because that's what you do, but they're going to be buying into your hostess way more than they're going to be buying into you, because they know her, and they know that their friend isn't going to steer them wrong, right? Their friend is going to share genuinely and authentically what they like. So hostess coaching is key, and your hostess needs to know that she needs to be present. She needs to be engaging. She needs to be reaching out to her guests. We don't want her inviting her entire friends list to an online party. Your online parties should feel as much like a home party as possible. So no more than 20 to 30 people usually invite. You're probably going to get, out of 20 to 30, you might get 10 to 12 that come, but that's okay. It's not about quantity, it's about quality. You want people who are interested. You want your hostess to be in there tagging people. If, Susie Q just got a new puppy and you share a picture of the home is where my dog, do we even have that warmer anymore? I don't know. You share a picture of whatever, Mickey Mouse, and she loves Mickey Mouse. You want your hostess to tag that person because you don't know if she loves Mickey Mouse, right? So it's all about hostess coaching and making sure that your hostess is the one that's engaging. And that's going to require work on your end to communicate with your hostess. And then your hostess is that liaison kind of between you and the guests. Okay. You're there to share the product. If people have questions, you're there to answer questions. You can ask questions. I do a lot of polls in my Facebook parties and ask people, what kind of fragrance families they typically like, so that I can give them fragrance suggestions. I do ask a lot of questions because I want to get to know what people like, so that I can start, thinking about things that I could show and share them specifically. But your hostess is key. If your hostess comes in there and doesn't do anything, then it's not going to go well. But you need to let her know that the success of her party is in her hands. Okay. You're there to share the product, but she needs to participate if she expects people to come back and forth, right? So hostess coaching is huge. There's a lot of really good training out there about hostess coaching. So definitely check YouTube, check the workstation, because there's some good documents and some good training on hostess coaching out there on the workstation as well. Okay. All right. I'm going to hurry up and get through these last two, and then I'm going to let Kylie share her thank yous with the last couple minutes that we have. Okay. So why is PRV so much lower than retail price on exclusive items like the collector's holiday warmers? So I don't have all of the answers to this, but I do know that when it comes to items that are licensed, when we have less PRV, a lot of it comes from royalties. So when we partner with Disney or the NFL or the NHL, there are royalties that we have to pay them as part of our contractual relationship with them in order to sell the product. So for every Mickey Mouse warmer we sell, Disney gets a certain percentage of that. And so that is factored into the price and how much PRV we get. So really, if we have a $55 warmer, licensed warmer, the true price of that is like the $50 that we get PRV for. But it's a $55 warmer because we have to give $5 back to the the company that that licensed it. Don't quote me on numbers, but that's why sometimes we have less PRV than what we are charging people for. Okay. And it's not on a lot of products. It's on the licensed products. It was on the Christmas, the holiday warmer. And that's an expensive product, but you also have to consider too, that if they're going to be paying commission on PRV for $150 product, they're going to need to charge, because the company still has to make money. They're not going to turn around and pass through all of the money that they're making onto consultants. They have to be able to make money too to sustain business. So like I said, you can't quote me on numbers, but a lot of it, when it comes down, especially to the licensed products, is because there are royalties and there are licensed things that are in the contract that require us to pay that company for use of their intellectual property. And so a lot of that comes into play. Okay, so that's why sometimes you'll see different PRV amounts versus retail pricing. Okay, and what should everyone's target monthly PRV be? So this is totally on a case-by-case basis. I will tell you, my personal PRV goal every single month is 2,000 PRV. And the main reason for that is because at 2,000 PRV, and if you don't know this, here's your fun fact. At 2,000 PRV, you get an extra 5% bonus on your sales for the month. So I don't ever want to leave that extra money on the table. So I strive to get 2,000 PRV every single month. No questions asked. And I also feel that, especially if you are lead or above, you should be striving to hit at least 500 PRV every single month. And the reason for that is because from lead title or above, in order for you to get paid on your team's performance, that's one of the requirements that you need to hit. You need to have 500 PRV, you need to have a certain number of active frontline, and you need to have a certain amount of group wholesale volume. So you could have all of those other things, but if you don't have your own 500 PRV, you're not getting paid any of your leadership bonuses. Okay. Sensi gives us that opportunity to make that money. Don't leave it out there for them. Okay. And I know that if you're brand new, those numbers might seem like a lot. Trust me, I didn't think I was going to be able to meet minimums. I thought I was going to get canceled like in the first 2 months that I was a consultant. It's going to sound like a lot if you're brand new because you haven't built up that customer base and you haven't built up that recurring revenue yet. But I promise you, if you keep going, it will keep growing and it will keep growing. And I didn't talk about Sensi Club, and I'm really, really mad I didn't talk about Sensi Club because we did another training on it, but that's another way that you can boost your PRV is with Sensi Club. And it's kind of like set it and forget it. If you get people to enroll in Sensi Club, those are orders that you have guaranteed to you every 1, 2, or 3 months. And the only thing that you need to do is take care of those people. Their orders are going to be coming in automatically because they've signed up for auto shipments. And as long as you take care of them, they're going to continue ordering those products. And so that's easy revenue for you to get. Okay. So in terms of your target monthly PRV, it really does need to be a personal thing, whatever your goal is. How much money do you want to make every month? If it's $100, figure out how much PRV you need to have in order to get that paycheck, and then work your way backwards and figure out how much PRV every day you need to have to hit that goal. Okay. It's all personal preference. My opinion is if you are leader above, it should be 500. And if you are in a position to where you have built up your customer base enough, it should be 2,000, because please don't leave that extra 5% on the table. Okay. It's a big deal and you can do it. You can absolutely do it if you work your business hard and you work it every day and you are consistent. If you are consistent, you will grow. All right. I know it's 9 o'clock. I want to give Kylie 2 minutes to share her thank yous because she's been waiting so patiently and I blew up the whole thing. So Kylie, I'm going to unmute you. Oh, you're unmuted already. Cool. All right, Kylie, go ahead.
All right. So I'm going to try and do this quick, but I have a scent circle. I would typically give this to a hostess, and I have my sticker right here. I got a cotton cleanup, and you can get these thank you stickers in the consultant store, I believe. They might be out of stock. Or a sample, like washer whiffs. I got body samples and other laundry samples too that I give out. But I was giving them out in these little goodie bags at first with some candy and a business card. And it would vary depending on what they ordered.
Love it.
So if they put in a bigger order, I would give them something like a scent circle or the cotton cleanup.
Awesome. I love it. And you know, when it comes to thank yous, you guys, like I said, you don't have to be giving away a bunch of product, but here's the thing. If you're collecting orders and you're doing your own parties, which you should always be doing, you should always have an open party on your website so that you can be collecting orders and playing hostess. And when you have hostess rewards to redeem, that's when you want to be buying these things like the scent circles and maybe some car bars or some pods, or just kind of looking at pods, whatever small things. I always stock up on scent circles because I send a scent circle with almost every thank you that I send out. That's when you want to be using those rewards so that you can reinvest into your business. Don't be buying things at full price to send out to your customers. Build up your host base, redeem your hostess rewards for those things that you can send out to your customers. Okay. Don't spend your family money. This is what Orville always says. Don't spend your family money on Scentsy, spend your Scentsy money on family. And so once you start doing this and you start building your business and you're getting more Scentsy money, you're going to be putting some of that back into your business, yes, to keep it going. But that's when you're going to be able to start spending your fun money on your family that you're making from Scentsy. Okay. All right, you guys, we could go on for another hour easily. PRV is something that I can really get into. So I hope that you guys found some little nuggets of information in here tonight. We can talk about PRV again another time. I appreciate those of you who put your questions in here. I know Megan is on here. Thank you, Megan, because I'm sure that your question helped some other consultants as well. And the other person or persons who put the other questions in, if you're in here, thank you very, very much, because your questions help people as well. And it doesn't matter to me if you want it to be known who you are, but you are helping other people. And that's what this is about. We're here to learn from each other and gain knowledge from each other and share experiences with each other. Thank you, Kylie, for sharing your little thank you packages that you've been making. And you guys, if you have questions and things like that, take them to your team page. If you're on my team page, please feel free to post anytime you want to. If you have a good idea, if you tried something and it worked, if you tried something and you didn't and you need some advice, that's what these pages are for. Don't feel like you can't share. I don't care if you just joined yesterday. If you have a question or you need help with something, come to the team page and ask for help. That's what we're here for, okay? Thank you guys for hopping on. Thank you for spending an hour of your week with us. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys in 2 weeks. Okay? Bye.